We were talking about the biggest difference between this year and last year. And we talked about Saleh and Gus Bradley, and I'm sure there's a lot of that. Like, they're very important. I want to talk about something else, and Trent Williams alluded to it. Kittle was the one talking about Saleh and Bradley. Trent Williams just said there was a lot going on last year and left it at that. And to me, I think that's the closest thing to the truth. And what was going on last year, not to boil it down to two people, he held out, but there was a lot of like me first diva stuff. And I think it kind of started in the offseason with Aiyuk holding out and putting himself above the team and really making that all a circus. Then he came back and wasn't really a distraction anymore. And then Deebo was a distraction. His grievances all year, his demanding of the ball, him not being in shape, like their personal agendas, I feel like overrode the entire season. And just not having them anymore, I think has brought this as like the culture of this team is way better. They were worse than the sum of their parts last year. Now they're better than the sum of their parts this year. Like, they're less talented this year, but a much better team. They were more talented last year, but they were worse last year. I think this is a big reason why.
I agree with you. And when Trent Williams says there was a lot going on last year, Iggy, there's more that we don't know about. We only know those two things. I'm telling you right now, there was more. I mean, I don't know what the more was. I'm not in that locker room. I don't know these players. They don't talk to me. But if we know that, I've been around a lot of football teams. There's more we don't know about. And I think part of it may have been dissatisfaction in the locker room with the head coach. Why are you letting these guys act this way? Jim Harbaugh wouldn't. He wouldn't allow it. And
well, remember how the whole season culminated, right? I mean, they were playing the Rams with the season on the line. Dre Greenlaw came back. He couldn't play the second half. They wanted to go back to Devondre Campbell, who had been the starter, but he had to go to the bench when Greenlaw came back, and Campbell quit. He's like, I have my own agenda. This is bullshit. You guys, you made me look bad. I'm here. It's like, I'm not part of this team. I'm out. And they made him seem like he was a one-off, but to me, he was sort of like the culmination of what that culture was last year. And now that stuff is out. That stuff is gone.
I agree with you. And I have one further point. I would like to think that Kyle will never let that happen again.
That's the point.
That's
what I wanted to say. Because last week we kept saying it's Saleh, it's Bradley. No. It's Kyle. Kyle is the one who held on to Deebo too long. Kyle is the one who wouldn't trade Aiyuk when the rest of the organization wanted to. Kyle is the one who had to let him go, and he did. And that was big for him. And you mentioned it when it happened. Like, him actually trading Deebo was a big sign of growth for Kyle Shanahan.
Yes, and so he's doing such a beautiful job this season, Iggy. I would like to think that he grew, is capable of growth, and will never let things get out of hand like that again, because he saw when things get out of hand in the locker room, the games get out of hand. You can't allow that. It's not a democracy.
Yeah.
He's
it felt like at times the Niners were, with the season on the line last year, they were force-feeding Deebo Samuel when he had been terrible all season. And they're not doing stuff like that. It doesn't seem like there are specific players, individual agendas overriding the team. I mean, Sky Moore got to play a little bit of offense yesterday. Jake Tonjes was a huge factor last year. I don't think that would have happened last night. I don't think that would have happened last year.
I agree. Kyle seems more mature.
Yep.
Like the leader he needs to be. But again, I want to be very careful. I've never met Kyle. I'm never going to meet Kyle. I can only go on what it looks like and what my experience has been. I believe one of the big reasons that they're so successful is Kyle has made a quantum leap as a leader and has either thought about it or internalized what it takes. I'm telling you, Jim Harbaugh would never take that shit, and nor would George Seifert or Bill Walsh. Guys like that would have ended up in Buffalo the next day.
It's my suspicion. Look, as well as Brock Purdy is playing, and you say you think he's improved a lot, He may very well have. We'll see what he does in the next few weeks. So far, I think the story of this season is how much Kyle Shanahan has improved. And I
I
think
agree.
that manifests itself when you saw Brock Purdy go down and Mac Jones play so well. I mean, he never played that well in the NFL. All of a sudden, he was playing like the guy he was supposed to be when he left Alabama. That's Kyle. And it's not just what he got out of the quarterbacks, it's how he got the locker room back, how he got the culture back and finally said goodbye to a couple of players that he had kind of enabled for years.
It's interesting. It's going to be the new year in a few days. So I guess what we're saying is what we look back over the year, because it's going to be the new year, and we feel, and we can be proven right or wrong, but as of the 29th, we're saying Kyle Shanahan has really grown, and we're giving him credit. We're giving him credit.
I feel like I've been one of the more critical people toward him in the media since he's been here, and I feel like I'm one of the I don't know. I'm very very enthusiastic about the job he's doing this year. I feel like he's doing a better job this year than any year he's ever had with the 49ers. Now, we've seen him be on absolute heaters and have it all come crashing down right at the very, very end. So before I say that he's a Hall of Fame coach, I'd like to see the end of the story. But right now, I do feel like he's grown, and I've never said that about Kyle Shanahan before.
Iggy, he can't be a Hall of Fame coach until he wins the Super Bowl.
His dad
Bottom
won
line.
two and a third as a coordinator and still hasn't made it in. Yeah, the bar is
Right.
high.
Bar is high. So we're saying he's made tremendous growth, but Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm not on the committee. Ira used to be, but I don't vote for. If I were on the committee, I wouldn't vote for him until he wins at least one Super Bowl.
I mean, I don't know if people thought about it, but I'm sure Kyle did. I mean, that was a big contest last night between him and Ben Johnson. They're both in the running for the coach of the year. Ben Johnson is kind of like the hot new flavor on the block. He's supposed to be the new Kyle Shanahan, the new and improved Kyle Shanahan. And he's good. He was really good in this game. That Bears team has a bright future, but Kyle Shanahan was just better. And I think was interesting with the game on the line. Ben Johnson called that cute little hook and ladder, which I don't think helped them at all. They didn't have a timeout. It only gave them one play left. I would have preferred to just take 3 shots into the end zone. Kyle didn't do anything like that. He didn't call attention to himself with some like razzle dazzle. He just won.
Just winning is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. One of the things last night's game was great. Let's say I loved it, Iggy. I loved the game, and among the great things was watching these two coaches who call the offense, Johnson and Kyle. It was brilliant. The both of them, they were brilliant. And Iggy, it was moving. I look at games as art.
Yeah.
And it was as moving as if I saw a good movie.
And remember, people, my dad covered all of Bill Walsh, so he knows what, beautiful football is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And what I think is cool about this matchup, it feels like these teams are kind of the future of the NFC. Like the Rams are good now, but we'll see who their quarterback is in a year or two. The Seahawks are good now, but we'll see how their quarterback is in a year or two. It seems like it's going to be Kyle and Purdy, Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams facing each other in the playoffs for a while. That'll be fun.
Now I want to say one other thing. I said the game yesterday was beautiful. I'm talking about offense.
Yeah.
I was trying to think what's an analogy to the game yesterday. I'm thinking the NBA All-Star game. Iggy, like they score 100 million points because no one plays defense. But the offense is great in the NBA All-Star game. It was like the NBA All-Star game. Everybody played the greatest offense. Neither defense could really stop the other team until the very, very, very end and we'll get back to that later, when the Niners finally, they got down to about the 5-yard line, right? And the Niners sort of stopped them.
Can I say something real quick? I want to. I don't like how these drives start at the 35-yard line now. It's like it just feels like inflation or something. All you got to do is go 15 yards, and now you're in 4-down territory. No one ever punts anymore. It just feels so. When you get the ball back with 2 minutes left, you're definitely going to get the field goal. I don't know. I don't like it. I think you should have to drive the full length of the field.
I mean, you'd like them to get it at the 20-yard line?
Yeah, fucking
I would
20
as well.
Sorry,
Fucking 20.
French.
Oh God, it's all right. I've heard that language.